are you doing?
I'm just putting lotion on.
Why are you doing it right now? Why can't you wait to do that?
Okay, I'll wait.
It puts the lotion on its skin. We're here to watch Max0r. My wife's rubbing herself down. And this video is family friendly mostly, for the most of it. Let's get into it.
I thought you were gonna
Come
talk
on, lotion ASMR.
I thought you were gonna
Money. So, the sounds are disgusting. I don't know if that's coming across.
Talk more.
I will wait until you're finished.
I have to put lotion on my hand because, you know, that big old diamond you got me keeps rubbing against my skin and making my hands all rough.
I see. That's the excuse. Where is the ring at anyways?
It's in the other room. I had to take it off because I went to the gym.
Are y'all ready for Baldur's Gate 3?
3?
If anybody can make this video fun, it's going to be Max0r. I saw a speed run of this. The people, very nice, by the way.
Yeah.
Totally chill crew. Very, very boring.
Yeah, the game just like has so many aspects
That I would love. Yeah, all the pieces, all the elements.
And then when I watch people play it,
I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Immediately. And what it is that I'm not really D&D guy.
Yeah.
I'm as fantasy as you can be
without being
D&D.
Yes, that is who we are.
Yeah, that's really it.
Which is very confusing for a lot of people.
They were like, oh, you would love this. So many people, oh, would you DM? You'd be so much fun. Oh, I DM. You should join my group. I never want to do it.
It's like how we're really into sci-fi, but we don't like Star Trek.
Yeah. It's like really being into anime, but not liking tentacle porn. It's just not for me. Like I'm really deep in, but I'm not quite that deep.
I don't...
Roll it back a couple steps. That's my area.
Right?
I
don't know.
How many anime have you seen? All of them. Well, they're wiggling inside. Stop your dirty mouth. Not that.
I don't think those are the same.
That's a perfect analogy, I think.
But I'll let you have it.
1-to-1. So here we go. He's here to melt my brain with more entertainment, and hopefully yours too. Let's get into it.
This video is going to spoil the entire game.
That's
Baldur's
fine.
Gate 3 is possibly the funniest game ever made, and I do not think it actually intends to be.
Okay.
Because it's actually trying to be really gay, taking place in a fantasy world where 4 adult friends are able to play on the same day. This game faithfully and hilariously recreates the D&D experience, all the way down to watching your friends paint the entire ground of their camp with your combustible blood, which turns out can act as the fuse for a bomb.
Oh
and that
my
is just the beginning of the absolute insanity that this game has to offer.
Did that say the players demand a BDSM scene? What?
It does.
What?
It does say that.
That this game has to offer. Because in the world of Baldur's Gate, anything is possible, and everything is determined via dice roll. And yes, that does determine whether or not you're going to be transformed into cats 4 turns before the building explodes.
What?
I think this is the best game ever made, and I'm not even exaggerating. But before beginning our amazing adventures, we have to choose our characters very carefully. We've got Asterion, the Dark Urge, Squid Game Huggy Wuggy, all the customization you can think of for my human male fighter. But today, we're going to be playing as Ongyat Rizking,
Sure.
Hate
they
you.
them wild magic sorcerer. Today,
what?
we're going to be playing as Ongyat Rizking, a they them wild magic sorcerer with absolutely unnatural charisma. Charisma so powerful that I convinced a boss to kill his minions, to kill his dog, to kill himself. Then
Damn!
convinced
Bro, low tier god is like following you around.
Everywhere.
himself. Then convinced him to join me against the forces of Satan 30 hours after I sent him to hell.
Damn.
Coincidentally, Ongyat Rizking is not a smart man. My playthrough was classified as morally ambiguous because I usually did the right thing very badly. You're probably wondering right about now, Max0r, why are you speaking to a sentient rat in hell? That is a good question with a very bad answer. I thought it would be really funny to sell my soul to Lucifer and then break into his house, kill his incubus that he uses to have sex with himself, steal my soul back along with everything worth money, which is the real reason that I'm here. Make a break for it just in time to get caught and be forced to kill Satan, who, by the way, has 666 HP and sings about how he's going to kill you like a Disney villain. Was this the ethical course of action? Maybe. But in retrospect, I did not think I would get caught. So, on top of his immaculate riz and dubious ethical success, the most important detail of Ongyat Rizking is that he is a wild magic sorcerer, which is definitely a class to choose. Imagine for a moment that you and your 20 allies are trying to push past a narrow corridor when me and the fellas cast a swarm of bees, black tentacles, and a goopy fart cloud, which kills your entire team before you are able to see anything. I call this strategy the fucked up hentai. Now, if that was to hypothetically happen, you would theoretically accuse me of a lot of bullshit, to which I would respond with, yes, officer, I did just disintegrate that child. And what's more, I've committed crimes you can't even charge me for. Say hello to the spell Feign Death, which works by placing your allies into a coma. This, I would argue, is not a very useful spell. But if I were to say, give all my money away to a lucky merchant, then he would trust me enough to initiate nap time. And after carefully concealing my presence in a conspicuous dark blob, I will be able to steal my money back plus interest.
What?
And what's more, I get a fucking discount next time I show up. Is combat requiring just a little too much thought? Are you perhaps getting tired of taking any damage? Then, my friend, look no further than the Globe of Invulnerability, which does exactly what you think it does a little too well. The only caveat being that the invulnerability happens to work on enemies, and they tend to see invulnerability as an advantage, meaning literally every fight that I use it in devolves into the funny friendship circle. Say, for instance, that you were an enemy whose entire purpose is to explode yourself. If you happen to wander into the Orb of Comedy, you would be forced to unsuccessfully activate your bomb vest 20 times in a row, hoping and praying for a death that I cannot provide you. Honestly,
Damn.
He's just stuck in an infinite loop of explosion and pain, and he's just up there laughing like, ah!
Oh my god.
Bro, this game looks like it takes a patience and detail that I just do not have.
Absolutely not.
if you're creative enough, you don't even have to play most combat encounters. I once fought a boss that began every fight by instantly killing me. Now, most normal people in this situation would reload the game, try some other quests, literally anything that uses your brain. But I am not normal people.
Right.
I'm autistic. How else do you think this video gets made? The neurotypicals couldn't do this shit. So instead, we are going to cleverly sneak up on him with my entire party, then cast Fear on him, forcing the men to flee while me and the fellas beat him to death with hammers. Another time, I was stuck in a difficult combat encounter with a invincible doom spider, at which point I transformed him into a more reasonable animal and forgot about him for the rest of the fight.
Damn.
Of course, magic doesn't always have to be used for combat or stealing. Sometimes it can be used for productive things, like remote detonation. Imagine for a moment that you were tasked with solving a murder because the elephant police are being racist. Not against non-elephants, mind you, just immigrants. My guy is a reactionary ranch soda. You would be able to quickly resolve this situation by performing necromancy and asking the murder victim who killed them. Alternatively, if I wanted to, say, kill everyone in the goblin camp without conventional methods, I could simply cast Speak with Animals and gently convince the local spiders to begin an arachnid race war. In fact, you can use this on any animal in the game, including threatening rats into revealing their cheese location, or the cat that narrates like a noir detective. Although I do think it is very strange that I don't have to cast it before speaking to gnomes.
Damn.
See, that's what he's talking about.
Wizard
Spread your ass open, dude. You can be the
I'm
rump shaker.
sorry?
We're gonna run that back just for posterity's sake.
Spread your ass open, dude.
Who voice lined that? And what's the dude for after? How uncomfortable do you have to be?
The dude makes it such a like, hey bro, tickle your testicles. Like,
somebody's out there going, yes! Oh, that's so fucking
I love
funny.
being talked to like a fucking frat
Like
bro.
a bro, yeah, like what the fuck?
You can do the rump shaker, huh?
Dude, this car kicks ass, and I can watch Madagascar while I'm driving.
Jesus fucking Christ. Just saw a wizarding duel outside Walgreens. One wizard cast a bullet at the other and stole his magical herbs. Turns out Gale wasn't actually a crip.
Damn.
Or maybe now he is. Wizarding life truly is amazing out here in Pennsylvania. Because when you join the Wild Magic Gang, you aren't just making a character. You're making a mistake.
What the fuck
Yeah.
is all? What is this?
Right.
I
Choose your own adventure.
I can't, bro.
How do you
my
fucking
brain,
keep up?
My brain can't keep up with this. My brain can't comprehend this. It's so funny because Max0r videos are already really hard for me to keep up with. It being Baldur's Gate is just like I'm melting on the inside and not in like a sexy way.
Random chance to select an effect from a list of 100. As long as you install the mod that adds 80.
Oh, got it. It's a mod. Okay.
Every spell my character cast was a guarantee that something will happen, and whether or not I wanted that to happen is a different story entirely. Consider the scenario that you and your heroic party are desperately trying to escape an underwater prison. And no, this time it wasn't for bestiality. It was for hate crimes. You have 5 turns to escape before your character reenacts the Titanic. This is when you make the critical mistake of casting a spell, which triggers the random effect of lock all doors, magically transforming this exploding prison into an exploding coffin.
Okay.
That is a reload. Or how about the time that I was tasked with holding onto a torch under penalty of death, whereupon the game decided that it would be really funny if I was banished to another dimension.
Damn!
Because it would be even funnier if I happened to reload the game and immediately get petrified. Okay, look, I am exaggerating a little bit here. After all, the chances of you transforming into an ovine on your 3rd try would be pretty low. Of course, wild magic doesn't always have to ruin the game. Sometimes it can do really helpful things, like permanently inflict my character with the clown curse, which is, by every metric, an objective upgrade. I had an emotional cutscene after I got this, and I'm sure it made everyone feel better. Here we have the fight with the giant robot, where I accidentally transformed myself into a cheese wheel. This gives us all kinds of new abilities, like cheesy smell, which would be really good if the robots could smell. Now, due to the obvious limitations of my class, Baldur's Gate 3 provides a myriad of options for customization, leveling, and companions, who, by the way, can be respec'd into any other class, making strategies like the 4-man gambling squad and Jurassic Park completely possible, but not exactly viable.
That is very much my husband's vibe.
Yeah.
To pick builds that are not good.
It's not gonna work.
Objectively bad. And he's just like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then he'll get frustrated when it's not working. And I'm like,
yeah.
Right, yeah. You're playing with a safety pin versus a dragon. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen.
2 examples. 1, I did a dagger run in Elden Ring. Very fucking frustrating because there's a lot of bosses with a ton of range and you can't fucking reach them with the little pointy stick.
Yes.
And then in Summer's War, I built a permanent sleep team.
Oh my god.
And so you destroy HP on their auto attack, so it slowly chips down their max HP.
Right.
And then you just recycle sleeping them over and over and over again. So I got a bunch of characters that like inflict sleep to some effect.
Yeah.
And then one character that can reset your cooldowns.
Yeah.
And then the matches just last fucking forever. And they just quit out. They're like, I would just leave. I'm not doing this. The character wakes up, they get 1 turn, back to sleep.
Oh my god. So maybe you would like this game. You
I
could
probably
just do
would.
dumb shit.
I probably would really enjoy
What's
it.
wrong with you?
Personally, I find it completely bullshit that I do not get an intimidation bonus for walking into the bank with 3 fucking velociraptors. Like, do you see this very often?
Right.
So, to get at the true heart of the Baldur's Gate 3 experience, we have to make some friends and eventually have sex with most of them. Honestly, it's pretty easy to forget that this game has combat. Personally, though, I didn't get with any of them. Mostly because I can't show it, but also because I was interested in a more acquired taste. That's right, baby. Gay sex with Squidward. I always dreamed of touching those Squidward tentacles as I played his clarinet. Also,
you cannot fuck the Squid Man. I'm looking at you.
Why are you looking at me?
Fan fiction, Frank.
Okay, I've never written a fan fiction where there were non-human. Well, okay. Technically, vampires aren't human.
They're not. They're vampires. They're not. They are literally
But they
not.
were human at one point.
So were corpses.
Is that not what it... Never mind. We won't get into that discussion.
Don't have sex with anyone human. The camp skeleton just insults you for having no bitches.
What?
Thus thou art alone.
Damn.
Shadowheart, more affectionately referred to as Shart is a cleric of Shar that I spent the entire game gaslighting into a religious fundamentalist. Then, as soon as that became slightly inconvenient, beat her to death with my entire party so badly that I could not revive the body for round 2. Now, Shadowheart could have survived if I actually trusted her, but unfortunately, she is a white woman, and I don't trust those.
What is the commentary in this? You know what? It released right at the end of February. He just inched it out.
Gale is an aggressively bisexual wizard with a nuclear bomb inside of his chest. And, it wants me defeated boots. Now, Gale claims this is because of his relationship with an actual goddess, but I don't believe him. Not because that's completely insane, but because I've seen how Gale behaves around me. This motherfucker is gay. And since I've covered all this game's wacky and funny spells, I decided that I was going to respec Gale into a barbarian and give him a gun. This wizard may be out of spells, but I was going to respec Gale into a barbarian and give him a gun.
Nice.
This wizard may be out of spells, but he is not out of shells. Will is a daring and noble warlock who is constantly told what to do and treated like a dog by a demon girl.
Oh.
So I don't.
I'd let a demon girl tell me what to do.
What did she just say?
If demons look like this in real life, I would pledge my life to sin. Same.
Was like, what did you just say to me?
Okay.
What?
So I don't understand why he doesn't enjoy that. This game's writing is unrealistic. Lae'zel is a Githyanki fighter who, within 3 seconds of speaking to her, made me decide that yes, I am going to do a racist character today. And over the course of our adventure, Lae'zel surprised and shocked me by never failing to prove my racism correct.
Damn.
Asterion is a...
He's like a vampire dude, right?
Asterion is a devilishly handsome rogue that specializes in giving enemies the devious backshots. This is mostly because Asterion happens to be a literal vampire, which becomes relevant when I sacrifice 7,000 children to him to create the ultimate life form. I promise the scene isn't gay. Unfortunately, this did basically nothing.
What is happening?
Asterion proceeded to walk down the hall and get his ass beat to death with hammers. Because out of all the abilities our sacrifice could have given us, Asterion had graciously received the power to continue being useless. Now, to be fair to Asterion, no ultimate vampire twink is going to kill 5 full-blood Texans on their 5th Modelo. And Karlach is a very hot barbarian that I used throughout the game as a punching bag. One time, Karlach got so mad that she randomly destroyed every box in a 10-meter radius, repeatedly setting the entire party on fire until we fucking died. It was at this moment I decided that Karlach was going to be the one to disarm every trap in the game for me.
Nice.
Make sure to grab the treasures, Karlach. With our powers combined, we are the world's shittiest polycule.
What the fuck is happening?
We're having so much fun without Shadowheart. So, as the world's shittiest polycule, it naturally falls to us to combat the forces of Big Straight and stop the Squidward ethno-state.
What?
Mostly by accident, because if there's one thing that motivates me more than protecting my potential investments, it is stealing from them. Yes, sir, it is certainly bad if the only bank in the city gets robbed.
Me and the boys watching James Bond morph into a black guy before our very eyes and praying at the movie screen like distressed.
I don't know if y'all are like listening and also kind of skimming through as they pop up, but I saw like black guy and cattle and I said, pause. I need to know what the fuck he's talking about.
Bad if the only bank in the city gets robbed.
The blood.
But don't worry.
Wait, go back?
Yeah, I know, look.
The USD dollar, will explode into complete dust next year. Please strongly consider growing an apple garden.
Don't worry.
I've
conducted a thorough investigation in my camp, and I have found no evidence of wrongdoing. Quests in Baldur's Gate 3 are, for lack of a better term,
put clothes on.
insane, both in their scope and in content. Mostly the content, with multiple contingencies for failure, partial success, or the classic unrestricted Japanese war crimes. Truly, the sky is the limit in Baldur's Gate, and the only thing preventing you from achieving your dreams are the consequences of your actions. If, for instance, you were to ride the calamari carousel, a future character will roast you for your crimes against God.
As he should.
In front of your friends. Your choices matter in Baldur's Gate 3. One time, I decided to visit the circus so I could piss off the local genie so badly that he sends me to Jurassic Park. But that's not important right now. Exploring the non-insane part of the circus, we find ourselves enraptured by the performance of Dribbles the Clown. The only problem being that while investigating a series of murders by shapeshifters, I had already met Dribbles the Clown, and I was carrying his severed torso in my inventory. Safekeeping. So, despite knowing the identity of my gang stalkers, I decided to send Asterion to the stage anyways, mainly because I thought it would be funny. And I was not disappointed. This guy should open a YouTube channel where he promotes an energy drink he intentionally poisons. Now, you're gonna want to be careful after doing this quest, because unbeknownst to you, one of your crewmates has been replaced by an imposter.
Right, those are fun.
I am kind of into this. Can you shapeshift yourself pregnant? So, when...
Yo, this guy is twisted. It seems like he's all there. You have to be to put this together and have this much patience.
I don't know if
but
that's true.
He's got a dark closet and there are webs in it.
Did your mom hug you as a child?
Maybe he's one of those like kids that weren't touched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So then, yeah,
did your dad call you names? Like, what's going on?
My dad called me by my name was Dweeb.
You know it or not, you are going to be playing Among Us for the next 10 hours. And honestly, playing as the imposter is so much more fun. Which is why, instead of stopping the killings, I decided that I was going to do them myself. And eventually join the blood cult by bathing in the blood of the racist elephant to bring about a new future of crimson despair.
What just happened?
Shapeshifters are usually multiracial by definition. What I'm trying to say with these long anecdotes is that you never just go to the circus in this game.
What the
God
fuck?
forbid, speak to a clown. Though you are watching this YouTube video, which is close.
Repost if you want to nail a porcupine to your neighbor's balls.
Give me the thug shaker, dude. Shake your ass. Take your hands off it and shake that shit.
Animals are so fucking funny!
Welcome to the first major dungeon of the game.
Okay.
Appropriately named Central London. And
Nice.
like the actual London, it is unfortunately filled with the English. You can really tell because you can't understand anyone and the food is inedible. It is here that Baldur's Gate really shines as a game where you can do almost anything.
Oh,
And
damn.
an unlucky developer will be forced to code it. There are 3 targets for you to kill in the Goblin Camp, or if you're bad enough,
All of them.
several dozen.
Yeah.
Each with their own personalities, weaknesses, and premium cheese strategies. Needless to say, this channel is not going to offer you any good advice. After all, there's a lot of guide videos for this game alongside race tier lists. So while I'm not going to be sorting you by phenotype, what I can give you is a taste of the premium cheddar. Okay, so you're gonna want to start out by going invisible and placing a wyvern toxin into the Kool-Aid. Then lead a toast by declaring that we are going to drink until we die. Make sure that Asterion is the one to do it, by the way. We don't need him anymore. Heading inside. We take care of our first target by following her to a secluded location, summoning a cloud of daggers, and then initiating verbal exchange, locking her into our conversation while she is slowly stabbed to death. This isn't considered a crime, by the way, because, well, they could just walk out.
Right.
Just don't hit a piece of wood while you're doing that, because then you're not going to be killed for assault. You're going to be killed for destruction of property. The next step we're going to do is called Minthara's Skip, because we are going to be summoning a random spectator to skip to the end of Minthara's life. Just pray to God that she doesn't go down easily, because the spectator certainly won't. Finally, we have our third target, Dror Razglin, who is slightly hard to kill the conventional way. So instead of that, we're going to do something significantly harder. I know, really original strategy, guys.
Just trying again.
Welcome to the Underdark, home of the spectator boss fight.
Nice.
Because yes, in addition to having a giant underground area filled with interesting flora and fauna, Baldur's Gate 3 dares to ask the question of what if people in the Underdark had a different skin color to me? And
Fucking idiot, bro. It's funny because these games do have like a very subtle undertone of like racial politics and like
time,
you know, tier systems and caste systems and cultural choices where they were like they just like living in the dirt because they're little gremlin dudes. Little dark gremlin dirty dudes.
It's not racism, it's just an observation.
Right.
And completely unrelated to that, what if there was a lot of slavery? Because it is this very slavery that we are going to take advantage of. Immediately upon entering the world's basement, you're gonna want to head over to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're gonna get a letter telling you that the princess is now a permanent guest at one of Bowser's 7 Koopa hotels. Talking to the giant mushroom, you're gonna have to explain to him how reanimating the bodies of dead velociraptors is technically not a war crime. But what I'm going to use them for is definitely a war crime. And after playing a game of Pokemon with the corpses that your enemies reanimated, we steal their boats and progress down the river towards the Iron Fortress of Grimforge.
This
place
on the side of
I'm gonna kill myself. Welcome to Grimforge, home to many different kinds of people, whether they're enslaved or enslaving. You really only have 2 options here in the Grimforge. Eavesdropping in on the local Minecraft Let's Play. We over here.
The more I drive around in circles, the more people see my Home Depot fucks me bumper stickers.
Okay.
An ancient and powerful explosive, which will purchase my child labor at least 30 minutes of Roblox time. And after gently ascertaining the location from their bodies.
Nice. It's like killing them, resurrecting them, and talking to them.
Ridiculous.
You will speak to me.
The nuclear weapon using a refined negotiation tactic where
Murder?
I lied to them. Now equipped with the most powerful bomb in the game, we are presented with a choice. We can either use this bomb to help the gnome slaves finally achieve their freedom, or we can use it to kill Jor Razglin. So going back to the
either or
goblin
situation,
we discover through some experimentation that Jor Razglin doesn't actually die to the bomb that I just placed.
Damn.
So into the hole you go, I guess. And that is how you quickly and efficiently speedrun the goblin camp.
Nice.
Make sure to subscribe for more convenient time saves.
Peter, what are you doing? Crowd. What the fuck?
Okay, so the point I'm trying to get across, really badly, is that this game is utterly massive, and it absolutely does not stop you from destroying it. Because in Baldur's Gate 3, every single mistake you can possibly make is going to come up again.
Damn.
And, most of the time, it is in the form of racial conflict. For instance, do you want to be a good Samaritan and free the Deep Gnomes from their unjust imprisonment? Well, congratulations. You just happened to free the Deep Gnome clan's Grand Wizard. I hope you're ready for a
What?
prize war in
I feel
20
like that's
copies.
bad.
What?
Because if you happen to misplace a certain bomb, then he's going to happen to make Hiroshima look like a fucking joke.
My God.
Personally, this kind of stuff is the funniest shit I've ever seen. Not the racism part, although that is still funny, but rather the simple joy of knowing that your save file has probably already been destroyed without you even knowing it. Since beginning the long process of making this video, I have made a multiplayer warlock named Risley Bear, alongside my friends Reese and Nomer Simpson. And after playing for approximately 10 minutes, I can confirm that my first character inadvertently killed almost everyone he spoke to, and about half of the time, the reverse was true. A good example of this is the time that I just so happened to wander my character into a literal god, who then offered me a pivotal and important quest, prompting me to raise the reasonable inquiry that if she was a god, surely she would be able to kill anyone she wanted.
Why?
She responded by fucking vaporizing me.
Yeah.
Overall, this is, in every sense of the word, a role-playing game, provided, of course, you want to roleplay as a dumbass murder goblin. Otherwise, why do you even play video games?
Right.
We blow shit up in this motherfucker. Better take your sensitive ass back to LinkedIn.
Oh,
Scores
man.
of amazing and deep content that I unintentionally locked myself out of because we accidentally killed a man named Bingus Bongus. Ripped to a fucking real weapon. Strategic and complicated combat. And an entire world of possibilities and solutions. Which will leave you wondering, how the fuck am I allowed to do this? Is this a glitch or intended behavior? Yes. So, while I didn't get to cover everything since, I'm only human, you can trust me when I say that there is something in this game for everybody.
I'm
10
sure.
out of 10 would unleash Gnome Hitler again.
Not
Though I would like to
Hitler.
thank all of my amazing patrons, using and sacrificing their funding for only the finest of video game content. As always, more deranged gacha game videos to come. I will be sure to spend all of your money very responsibly.
Nice.
Yeah, this video is about Baldur's Gate 3.
What a freaking weird video game. we
I
have
will
just been
never
exposed
play
to.
it. I will
You
never.
think so?
I will never play that game. You guys need to understand. First of all, get stressed when I hurt people's feelings in video games.
Oh, yeah.
My husband has watched me literally lose 2 hours of gameplay because I forgot to save and I hurt somebody's feelings.
Oh my God. It wasn't even that bad.
It was
the
bad.
meter went down maybe like half a quarter of an inch.
No, he left
and
me.
He left.
So anyway, I can't handle a game with this many consequences for this. You mean every decision? I can't. I cannot.
Oh, man. This game seems like it would be a lot of fun to play with a group of people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be those parts where, like, you have to just travel from one part to another, prepare for the quest,
right,
gear out your people. And I'm not patient enough for that.
Nope.
I'm going in unprepared, and then when it doesn't work, I'm going to be mad about it. That's why I keep saying, like, complimenting his patience to make this stuff work, because you have to fail a lot to make these games work, to figure out the mechanics.
Absolutely.
And then when it all comes down to a roll, how are you okay with that? You got to go in with, like, the Iron Man mindset. You know? One and done, believe the rolls or nothing else. But with that said, we'll see you guys in the next one. Tell me what your experience is with Baldur's Gate, and I'll see y'all around. Peace.